Greetings and good day everyone, my name is Paul Dulong. Sorry I haven't been on the channel in a few months. I've been going through some personal shit lately, and I'll talk about that another time. This video is first and foremost about what's going on about Hulk Hogan, and I'm sure you've all heard about it in the last few days. As most people know by now, WWE decided to terminate Hulk Hogan altogether. The WWE decided to fire him based on the very horrible things he said a very long time ago. I will get to the specifics in a few minutes, but first I'm going to read you what WWE's official statement was. The WWE terminated its contract with Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan. WWE is committed to embracing and celebrating individuals from all backgrounds as demonstrated by the diversity of our employees, performers, and fans worldwide. Okay, so I'm not going to act like I don't understand the WWE's decision, at least partially. They had to make a response to this. I think they went on the side of overkill, but they still had to make a stern response. But I think they went too far. I think firing him might have been enough, or even suspending him under certain conditions would have been enough. Anyway, so they kind of took it a step too far. They totally banished him from the entire WWE history. He's not on the Hall of Fame no more. None of his wrestling matches or videos of any kind that he's been involved with are on the website that WWE runs, or the app as well, anymore. They just erased him as if he didn't exist. They won't even acknowledge him as if he did exist. I think it was a knee-jerk reaction that is going to come back to bite the WWE in the ass. The problem with all these dramatic takedowns is that you can't pretend that history didn't happen. That does not help educate people about racism. And it is doing more harm than the idiots who are making these decisions realize. Also, Forbes magazine just came out and said that the WWE lost over $50 million worth of stock revenue on Friday alone because of this. Forbes is saying it's because of what Hulk Hogan said, but I doubt that tremendously, seeing as how, one, the stocks were closed when the story first broke, and by the next morning when the stocks opened, the WWE had already fired and erased Hulk Hogan. And I think that stock drop-off is a blatant response to how irresponsibly stupid that move was. Yeah, there should be consequences for saying stupid shit like that, but there's a limit. The punishment has to fit the crime. It's their company, and they have a right to make that decision, but as a fan, I have the right to say, see ya WWE. He said these horrible things 8 years ago. 8 years is a long time. It may not seem long in the grand scale of things, but on a human level, a person can go through a tremendous amount of changes if they choose to in that time. In less time. A person can have an epiphany in 8 days, let alone 8 years. One thing I find interesting about all this is that Hulk Hogan actually did something that is unlike a lot of the cases that go down this road. He issued an apology. Yeah, I know a lot of people issue apologies after, stuff like this comes to light. But Hulk Hogan did it in record time. To him, this isn't something that happened recently. This is a long time coming. There's no difference in me speculating he's not a racist than from people speculating that he is. Yeah, he said he's a racist at one point, and now he says he isn't. And if you think once a racist equals always a racist, you are dumb. People can evolve. If there's one constant in the human fucking condition, is that human beings, if they're intelligent, learn from their mistakes, grow from their mistakes, try to be better than they were before. Anyway, this is what Hulk Hogan had to say. 8 years ago, I used offensive language during a conversation. It was unacceptable for me to have used that offensive language. There is no excuse for it, and I apologize for having done it. This is not who I am. I believe very strongly that every person in the world is important and should not be treated differently based on race, gender, orientation, religious beliefs, or otherwise. I am disappointed with myself that I use language that is offensive and inconsistent with my own beliefs. And look, I understand that that apology may seem a bit by the numbers. And the reason it was is probably because he said it quick. His mind's still racing from all this drama that is being thrown down upon him. He just wanted to say something to say something. Because he wants people to know that he realizes he fucked up. And you want to blame him and crucify him and judge him for that, well, that's your prerogative. But you damn well better make sure that you never said anything stupid or insensitive when you thought you were alone and having a private conversation with someone. If there's another constant in the human condition, is that people are constantly saying things that they do not mean. From somebody who likes making jokes, I say a lot of inappropriate things, not because I believe them, but because I recognize there is shock value in saying them. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but I'm just saying context, you know? Basically, we're judging a guy on some crazy shit that he said after having sex. I mean, if you look at the transcript, which I will read to you shortly, it's incoherent. Like, he's mumbling almost. Like, a man is just not at his best intellectually right after he's had sex. Guys exhaust themselves, and the blood just isn't in the brain at that moment. It's somewhere else. So we're yelling at him for some fucked up pillow talk. Hell, man, I've said some fucked up shit after sex. Stuff like, urinate in the dark. Do you have any mouthwash? And the ever popular, your sister was better. Point is, mistakes were made by everybody, every human being. And we need to understand, I know, in a society that demands perfection, it's sometimes hard to understand that people fuck up. And I know Hogan's comments aren't as lighthearted as the ones I just said, but at the same time, the guy needs help. Like, he may have gotten that help. We don't know where his progress is because we are judging him based on something that happened 8 years ago. The last thing we need is more hate. We need to stop looking for reasons to hate people. We can't hate people for being a different color, but we can hate them if they hate other people for being a different color. It's so stupid. Stop finding reasons to hate people. You can be mad, you can be upset, but this whole "I will never forgive you" bullshit, it's not pretty and it's not human. It's easy to make fun of him because you don't know him. I've met a hell of a lot of celebrities in my life. Unfortunately, Hulk Hogan was not one of them. So putting Hulk Hogan, the icon, aside for a moment, his real name's Terry. He's born in Augustus, Georgia, raised in Florida. These are as southern states get. He is over 60 years old. So, look, there's a way to cure racism, but the oldest generation are going to have the hardest times with it. These are southern states, and while definitely racism exists everywhere, the southern states are kind of the poster child for it right now. No child on this earth was ever born hating another race. Hatred is taught generation to generation, and we need to fix that. As much as we would all love the racism problem to be solved overnight, it is not going to happen, and we have to stop telling ourselves that that's the way to do it. We need to stop finding ways to crucify people for their mistakes, especially if they show remorse, and especially if enough time has passed where what you say shouldn't even matter. Hulk Hogan said this in his bed. It's not like he walked up to a podium or came on YouTube wearing a KKK outfit, tear it off and just say all the horrible things he said. That's not what happened. People are acting like it happened. People are acting like he's worse than Chris Benoit. Remember him? That guy killed his whole fucking family. I'm sure Hulk Hogan will talk a little bit more about it, maybe make a better apology than he did, but I don't think he owes us one. It happened 8 years ago, and it is not a crime. So I've kind of left what he actually said to the end of this video. I struggled with whether or not I was going to read it verbatim or not. I do not like these words to come out of my mouth normally. At the same time, I am not one of these people who's going to be intimidated into not saying a word just because it's an unpopular and hateful one. But I don't like these words coming out of my mouth. I just don't. I want racism to end. But it's not going to happen if we're not all on the same playing field. The rules have to apply for everyone. Either that word is wrong for everyone to say, or it's not. If it's okay for anyone to say it, then it's okay for everyone to say it. That's equality. So here's what Hulk Hogan actually said. I don't know if Brooke was fucking the black guy's son. I mean, I don't have double standards. I mean, I am a racist to a point, fucking N-words. But when it comes to nice people and shit, then whatever. I mean, I'd rather if she was going to fuck some N-word, I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot-tall N-word worth $100 million, like a basketball player. I guess we're all a little racist. Fucking N-word. I do not think there's even this remote chance that Hulk Hogan is going to see this, but if he does, I have this to say to him. I don't think one bad mistake erases all the good you've done. That's the narrative society likes to try and push, but we can't believe that. We cannot believe that. People need a little bit more understanding and a little bit more patience. On Twitter, there is a lot of mixed feelings, but the majority of them seem to be supporting Hogan. Although there are lots of tweets that don't. But there are more that do. And I'm not saying I support Hulk Hogan, but I forgive him. And you should too. Unless you can honestly tell yourself that not once in your entire life have you said something inappropriate in private. Alright, let me know in the comments section below what you guys think of all this. Like, I told you my take on it, but maybe I'm just a naive sap on the whole thing. Maybe. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just a guy who's made a whole lot of mistakes myself and have had to find ways to overcome them. I can't take any more of these 80s icons dropping the fucking ball, man. Jesus. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon.